If you feel like you're doing everything right, training hard, eating clean, staying consistent, but still not seeing the physique that you want after months, this is probably why. You're trying way too much, you're following way too many workouts, you're overthinking on your diet, spreading out your effort every single where. So in this video, I'll show you the few things that actually drives muscle growth, what is quietly wasting your time, and how you can simplify your training and your diet so you can finally start making some real progress. So before we get into anything else, I need to ask you something first. If you're watching this video right now trying to build an aesthetic physique, did you actually know what training to failure means? Because here's the thing, most people I talk to who's been training for months has never heard of them before for some reason. Maybe they heard vividly about someone saying it in the gym, or maybe somewhere online mentioned it. But if you ask them what it means, they can't really tell you. And that's kind of a problem, because training to failure is probably one of the single most important things you need to understand if you want to actually build muscle. So let's fix that right now. Okay, so imagine you work at a phone company and your job is to make the strongest phone possible. Now before you can upgrade the phone or decide that this is even a good idea, you need to know one thing first. How much force can it actually take before it just breaks? So what do? You drop test it. First try to drop it from a small height first. No damage. So you drop it for higher. Still fine. You keep going and going until one point it actually broke. The screen starts to crack, the frame starts to bend, and now you know exactly what your phone can and can't handle. And now with that information, your engineer can start to do their work. They know they need to upgrade the frame, reinforce the glass, and at the end, making the whole phone stronger. Here's the key thing. What if the phone just never broke during testing? If every single drop test, no matter how brutal it is, the phone survived, the engineer would have zero reason to even add anything. Because to them, if they survive all the tests, the phone is already strong enough. So why even fix something that isn't even broken? Now, muscle works the exact same way. Every time you go to the gym and do a set, your body is basically running a drop test on itself. And if every rep feels easy, if every rep you stop before it actually gets hard, your body would just look at that and goes, oh, we handle everything just fine, no need to change anything. So that leads to no upgrade, nor growth. But the moment that you push that set hard enough to the point where your muscle is screaming and you can't do another rep, now your body might go, okay, that's way too much. We need to be stronger for the next time. And that is where the upgrade on your physique will begin. So what does training to failure actually mean? It's quite simple. You pick your exercise, you still do the reps in that exercise, but you will push yourself until you physically can't do another rep with good form. Not like when it gets comfortable or when you get a little bit tired, but when your muscle just gives out and like the rep just stuck in the air and doesn't go up anymore. That point is where a lot of people call zero RIR, which is in short for reps in reserve. And the reason that this matters so much for building muscle is that when you push to that point, your muscle has to push every single muscle fiber in your body that is handling that weight. And if it knows that even if it pushes to its limit and it still can't do what it needs to do in order to survive, it has to change something. And that's exactly the signal that tells your body to start growing. Now this is easier on isolation exercise like bicep curls, lateral raise, etc. Where it's just mainly one muscle group that is doing all the work. I'm not saying that only one muscle group does the work. Maybe like 90% of the work that muscle do. And when that happens, you can focus on pushing that main muscle group hard without fatiguing yourself, nor worrying about yourself getting hurt because your form is bad, especially if you're a beginner and learning how to train to failure. So that's what training to failure is. It's basically a body's drop test. And in the next part of the video, I'm going to show you why without this you can train for months and months in the gym and will still barely see any result. Alright, so now you know what training to failure is. This is where it gets interesting. Because I want you to think about something for a second. How many people do you know that goes to the gym consistently? Like they're super hardworking, maybe showing up like almost every single day in the week for months and years. And they still look kind of the same as when they first started. Maybe that person is you. Yeah. And if it is, I'm not here to make you feel bad about it. Guess what? This thing is actually true. I was that exact person. And the frustrating part about it, I'm not even lazy. And the problem was something entirely different than my training time and consistency. And that cost me 6 whole months to figure out what it was. So here's what my training looked back in the day. I was literally going to the gym for 7 days a week, like every single day. And it's not like I'm just gonna show up in the gym for 30 minutes, walk on the treadmill and then leave. I was literally there for 2 hours hours, sometimes even more, lifting heavy ass fucking weight. On paper, that sounds insane, right? Like if dedication is all it took, I should be a Mr. Olympia by now. But here's the honest truth about what those sessions actually look like. So I'd walk in, pick up some weight that I felt is comfortable, that I think is heavy, like do the amount of reps randomly that the routine online said, like, oh, if the routine says 12, I would do 12. And then I just drop the weight and rest, even if I feel like the set isn't that hard. And I would just do it over and over again. I never really pushed myself hard, nor I even struggled. If a set start feeling a little bit hard, like I start to feel my muscle bit sore, I would just stop right there. I thought it was like, oh, injury or some shit like that. So I just do that over and over again for 6 whole months. Now at the end of that 6th month, I took a photo of myself every single week, right? So I compared the photo of that end of 6th month to the day where I started. Basically, nothing changed. Maybe I built a little bit of muscle because of the newbie gains, but nothing compared to what I put in 6 months in a day and how much hours I had put into it. And that broke me a little mentally, honestly. Because I thought I was doing everything right. Because I was consistent, I was showing up, I was putting the time in to work out. So I did what any confused guy would do. I just go up online and searched for the reason why the hell am I not making any progress. And almost every single answer leads to the same thing: training intensity. More specifically, the fact that I was never pushing my set hard enough. Yeah, I was going through the movements, like doing the sets, like counting the reps in those sets, and just doing them half-assed, calling it a workout at the end of the day, but never actually making my muscle work hard enough in order for it to grow. And that's when I first came across training to failure, and everything started to work for me. So why does training to failure actually matters for building muscle? Let me break it down simply. The first reason is mechanical tension. When you push your set close to or all the way to failure, your muscle is in the highest amount of tension it could possibly be under. And mechanical tension is the #1 driver for muscle growth. Think about it like this: your body isn't going to waste energy randomly building bigger and bigger muscle for absolutely no reason. It only does that when it's forced to, when it experiences enough tension that it has no choice but to adapt and get stronger. And that level of tension, you can only really get that when you actually push yourself hard enough to reach failure. Like when the reps is actually hard, not when you stop because oh, the routine says 3 sets of 8 reps, and it sounds like a good number. The second reason why training to failure works is that it makes your metabolite builds up. When you push your muscle hard enough doing a set, your muscles start accumulating metabolites. Basically the byproduct from the muscle working at a high intensity. And that buildup acts like a signal. It tells your body that serious work just happened here. And your body responds by triggering the pathway that leads to muscle growth. You don't get that signal from a half-ass set. Only get it when you actually push yourself. And the third reason is probably the most straightforward one. When most people say, oh, I do 3 sets of 8. Yeah, that sounds like a structured training plan. Oh yeah, bro's actually really training, bro. But if every single rep in those 3 sets felt easy, if you could have done 15 reps, but you stopped at 8 because that's what the plan says, then you have given your muscle almost 0 reason to grow, because the stimulus wasn't hard enough to force any adaptation. Training to failure instead of just counting reps fixes this, because it doesn't matter if you do 8 reps or 15 reps. What matters here is the few last reps where your muscle has been pushed to its actual limit. So to bring it back to my story, those 6 months I spent training 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. All that time, all that consistency, most of them is wasted. Not because I didn't do my workout with proper weight or form, but because I never pushed my muscle hard enough to give it a reason to change. And the moment I started training with real intensity, pushing my set close to or even at failure, everything started to change. I started making more progress in 2 months than I did the entire of 6 months before that. And my session actually got shorter too, because when every set actually makes you shit yourself, you don't need to be in the gym for 2 hours. So if you've been showing up consistently and not seeing any result, I can almost guarantee this is the reason why. In the next chapter, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process on how to actually get you training to failure without even hurting yourself or burning yourself out. So now you know what training to failure is and why it matters more than almost anything else when it comes to building muscle. Now comes the part where most people just skip right into and wonder why they get hurt in the gym. the how. Because here's the thing, you can't just walk in the gym tomorrow and just pick up the heaviest dumbbell you can find and grind out the reps until you feel collapse. That's not exactly training to failure, that's just asking for an injury. So here's the exact progress I'd follow if I'm starting from zero. There's 3 steps, so just follow these order and you should be good to go. Step 1, building the strength baseline first. Before you even think about pushing to failure, you need to figure out what your limit actually is. Because most likely, if you're new, like under a year in the gym, maybe even over a year a bit, you don't know how actually strong you are first. And that's fine. Nobody knows when they first started. So here's how you find it. Pick an exercise. So let's just say you pick dumbbell curls. Start with a weight that almost feels too easy for you, like too light. Like seriously, go lighter than you think you need to. Now, practice your reps with perfect form. Control on the way up and control on the way down. No swinging, no using momentum, like just let the muscle do the work. Imagine the muscle doing all the work for you. Now every single session after that, just add 1 rep, like just 1. If you do 8 reps last session, do 9 this session. Like if you did 9, do 10. Keep adding and adding until you hit 12 reps with that same weight with good forms. Once you hit 12 reps, add the smallest amount of weight possible to each side, like 0.25 kilogram each side if your gym has the equipment to do so, or the smallest weight progression available. Then start the progress again from whenever you land. Maybe you drop back down to 8 reps with the new weight. That's fine. Slowly build back up to 12 and then add weight again. Repeat this cycle. And at some point, you're going to hit a wall where you can't add more reps or can't add more weight. Every time you try, your body just doesn't have the energy to do it. That wall is now your strength baseline. And now you actually know what you're working with. Welcome to step 2, progressive overload from that baseline. Now that you know your limit, this is where training to failure actually begins. Every session from this point on, your only job is to try and beat what you did last time. Add 1 more rep, add a tiny bit more weight, and doing slower and more controlled reps with the same weight and rep. Anything that makes it harder than before. And every set that you do, you push until you physically cannot do a rep anymore. Not when it feels a little burning or it feels a little bit uncomfortable. When the rep like genuinely does not go up even on how hard you try. If I don't push this rep, my mom will have something like that. And you still can't get your weight up. That is your 0 RIR. That's failure. And here's something important I want you to understand. Some session you beat your last performance, and some session you won't. And that is completely normal. Sleep, stress, what you ate that day, all those can affect your performance. So if you push as hard as you physically can that day, like hitting failure on the last set of every single exercise you do, but the number just didn't go up from last time, then that is still a good session. Like you still trained the failure, you still gave the muscle the signal it needs to grow. Don't let the numbers like mess with your head. The goal is try to beat your best every time and leave nothing in the tank. If you just do that consistently, the progress will have no choice but to come. Alright, now for that mindset foundation we just built, let's continue on with step 3. Staying consistent for long enough so you actually see it. This step sounds the most obvious, but this is the one that actually separates the people who would build an aesthetic physique to the people who won't. Because here's the honest truth. Training to failure, they do work, but they don't work overnight. You're not going to go to the week for like 2 weeks and work hard and suddenly look like a different person. Building an aesthetic physique takes months, sometimes even years. And the person who actually built themselves the physique are not the one who's like training the hardest for like 3 weeks and then burns out. They're the one who just showed up week after week, months after months, push hard the right way every single session, like got their diet in check, sleep well enough, and they just didn't quit. That's it. And honestly, there's no secret beyond that. It's quite simple. So Pick a training frequency that actually fits your life. Maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever you can stick to. Make sure that you're eating enough protein, like around 1.8 to 2.2 grams per kilograms of body weight, or just follow the simple rule of 1 gram per pound of body weight. And just make sure you're sleeping enough. Aim for around 8 hours of sleep, which is around 9 hours of time spent on bed. Because you're not gonna just jump on the bed and sleep right away, right? Because all the training to failure in the world means absolutely nothing if your body doesn't have the time or fuel it needs to actually rebuild the muscle into bigger cells. Just do those 3 things and just stay consistent for long enough. The aesthetic physique isn't a question of if, it's only the question of when. And that's everything you need to know to start training to failure the right way, what failure actually means, why it matters, and how to get yourself there without second guessing. Now, if you want to know how to structure your full training week around this so you're hitting every single muscle group the right way without burning out, then check out this video right here.